Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Legends Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Scott. We have another guest in studio today. I'm really excited to have one of our most famous member coaches here at the Lehi location. This is Brigon Abbott. Welcome, Brigon.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you. I am curious to learn a little bit more just personally about you, as far as I've known you for a while, but I don't really know. Like, what do you do for work?
So I manage an IT group. I manage a small team. We handle web analytics. That's been my career for 15 plus years now, just monitoring numbers and putting the software in place to make sure that numbers happen so that people can change websites to make them better.
So like the analytics, how many times somebody's clicking on your website,
Yep,
somebody's
exactly.
going on it, what kinds of things that they're viewing.
Yep.
Okay, so you and your team, you do that for other companies, or you're just doing it for a specific company that you work for?
So right now I'm in-house. So
Okay.
I'm working for a company, and I've been bouncing in and out of working directly for a company or just working as more of a consulting type role, and just been bouncing back and forth. So right now I'm at Thermo Fisher Scientific and managing their implementation group there.
How many people do you manage?
So 4 right now.
Oh, 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that like? Is you working at home, or are you
Yeah.
working in an office? And
Yeah.
so it's mostly just in front of a computer and Zoom meetings all day long. And so slightly flexible, or
It's been pretty good, actually. So it's funny enough because I was working for Aetna right before they got acquired by CVS. And then I bounced out because just the track took me to go back to consulting. And as soon as I did, about the first week in, why did I leave that? I had the flexibility to be at home. I had so much less stress. And so I was just vying ever since then to go right back in the house. And I've been looking ever since. And Thermo Fisher, after the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I jumped to a startup trying to find a new track for myself and got let go with a bunch of people, which is fine because it actually put me on probably the best path I've been on. And so I was training with Kylan to become a member coach at that time.
okay.
And the shutdown happened, got laid off. And about 2 weeks after that, the gym shut down because everything shut down. And so I had nothing to do. Fortunately, I had a key because I was a coach at that time. So I'd come in and just do my workout. And that was just kind of my time to process and just get through things.
So 2020 around
Yeah,
that? Is that
2020.
when-
Yep.
Okay. Because I remember you started while I was still coaching. When about was that? 2019 or
It was
2018?
2018 because
Okay.
I was a member for about a year and then started to do the training for the coach.
Okay. All right. Well, we're getting a little ahead. I don't want to get right into that Legends part yet, because I know there's 2018 to 2023. That's a long
time.
stint. So, and there's been some things in between that. So we're gonna talk some more about that.
Okay.
What were you doing? The same type of job, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
analytics and stuff like that when you started with Legends,
Mm-hmm.
right? Stressful job?
Not overly stressful. It kind of, you set it up to ideally run itself. And as new things come in, you're there to help support new technologies, or if they need to redesign the website, you need to make sure everything's still working, nothing breaks. And that's primarily the role, is to make sure that new initiatives or if new metrics need to be measured, you figure out how to put that onto the site so that it can be measured and so you can make all your decisions from there.
Okay. Did you go to school for this?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
It actually
no?
wasn't even a thing back when I started.
Oh, really?
So I had served my mission. I got back in 2006, did field engineering, and wasn't making enough money, so I bounced to an MLM. Didn't like that at all. But then my brother-in-law was working for Omniture back in the day, and they needed happenstance somebody who spoke German.
Oh.
And so I started on a night shift speaking German into Omniture, which was web analytics. I've never heard of that before. So
Is that where you went on your mission? Was Germany?
yeah, so I went to Berlin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Nice.
just kind of led me there, and I've been in web analytics ever since. So learning on the fly, and that's evolved into a technology that's completely different than what it was. And then Adobe bought it at one point, and just been bouncing in and out of that, just supporting that for hundreds of companies at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been good.
Married?
Married,
Kids?
2 kids.
Okay. How old?
So Gabe, he's 6, and then LaRue, she is 3.
Gabe and LaRue, 6 and 3. I remember having children that young. It's been a long, long time. So, stress?
The best kind of stress.
The best kind of stress.
Best kind of stress.
Okay, I like that. I like that answer. So, back in 2018, what sparked you to come and try boxing for the first time?
Steph had actually run it by me multiple times because back when it was XSI, back in the basketball court, I actually remember meeting you because I came in there. I had to find my way. There were just little stands to point where the boxing gym was. You had to kind of meander your way through. And I just came in. It was during a class. You were coaching. You sat down on the ring with me, talked to me for a little bit. I was extremely not in shape, extremely intimidated. It's like, I just don't know if this is for me. I didn't even try the class. I didn't have the guts to even try it back then. So left. Steph kept kind of putting the worm in my ear. You should go do it. You should go do it. You should go do it. And I kind of had a breaking point in my weight. Because I reached over 300, which was my heavy. That was my really heavy.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, I mean, I try to do like the beach body stuff. I hate running. It's really hard on my body, even still. And just tried a whole bunch of different things. Nothing really sank in. Nothing that I really enjoyed. And then kind of threw it out there at the last whim. I was leaving Aetna that I was working for, and they had a reimbursement program to go throw X amount of dollars towards any health package you want. So I came in just on a whim. I tried calling, but no one was in the office. So I just went down because I saw it was still open. It was a sparring night.
I'm starting to remember all of this.
We ran into you and I was like, hey, can I sign up for this? And I think you were even asking me, don't you want to take a class first? I'm like, no, I'm good.
I do remember
because the sign up fee just so happened to be the exact amount that I could get reimbursed for. So I'm like, nope, just sign up for me right now. Like, great, we'll email you the receipt. I actually kind of need that tonight, which pulled you off again. And I felt looking back, I'm like, he was coaching sparring. There were people in there hitting each other, and they didn't have Andrew to actually be there and coach them. But you were so good about it.
Yeah, but I had a Kylan.
You did have a Kylan.
I had a Kylan.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true. Every gym needs a Kylan.
Yeah, well, they do. Every Legends has a Kylan.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, you were kind enough. You never said anything about I'm really busy right now. You never said anything about that. You pulled up all the computer work, got the computer or the printer to work, printed out the receipt, handed it to me. I asking you boxing questions, and you answered them all just in motion. Like there was no complaining that I was interrupting that kind of a night for you. And that still left a really big impression on me. And so I showed up, having signed up for it, started taking the class. I still remember my first workout, the workouts that we did. It's like ingrained up here because it was hard. I was really, really heavy and out of shape and intimidated. I didn't know what the hell I was doing at that time. And I've been here ever since because I absolutely fell in love with it.
That's a pretty incredible story. I have to honestly say, I do not remember talking to you at XSI. That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
But as you're talking about this story, I totally remember the first time I met you. And I remember the beard was longer.
Yep.
The hair was longer. But for those who are listening and you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, he is not 300 pounds, you guys. How much weight have you lost?
I am down 90.
90 pounds. It's pretty awesome. Okay. That's really awesome.
Thanks.
When did you, how long into starting the classes did you know that this was where you were going to just be?
It's hard to put a time on that because honestly, after the first time, I had never sweat so much in my life. I remember just going home exhausted, just going and telling Steph how great it was and the kinds of workouts that we were doing. And she just smiled at me and said that was great. And it's just so encouraging. And I was doing it for 2 times a week because that's all the energy I could have at the time. And I think when I upped it to 5, because I went to 3 times a week, and that was exhausting. I had to rearrange my schedule to be home in time to help with the kid and everything. But then I started going in the morning, and there's coaches that coached back then that aren't there anymore. Coach Allison back when she was there. She made it so fun. She had great playlists going, had the energy, great combos, would spend the time if I had questions, and just made it such a fun environment to come. And so I came 5 times a week at that point and have never looked back. I don't think I've had a week unless I've been out of town, but I'll still like do the shadow boxing in my hotel room at this point because I can't live without doing the Legends workouts now. I have access to what they are, so I'll pull them up my phone. Like, it's going to be interesting to do in a hotel room, but we'll do dragon walks. That's cool.
Down the hallway.
Down the hallway. I have done leapfrogs down hotel hallways before.
And only had hotel security called once.
It probably wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't 4 a.m.
Well, yeah, if it was an appropriate time of the day to pound down a hallway. But no, this is fantastic. So, okay, so Steph, let's talk a little bit about when she started because it's a family affair now at this point. And it's been, for how many years has it been a family affair?
I started coaching her in our living room back when the gym was shut down.
Oh, so for during COVID?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the home workouts.
So it was home workouts. So we did those. We put them up on the TVs. We were doing them together. I still had access to, because those eventually stopped because we were opening the gym back up. But at that time, she actually asked me because I don't know if anyone who's listening has been ever laid off before. That was the first time that I had gone through that. And I was down. I was really down. Like that's a kick on a guy's ego pretty hard. So having the opportunity to be in the gym, teach myself a few things while I was in there, I'd go home, but I didn't have anything to do. Like the baby was kind of being taken care of because Steph was already on it. But then she would just ask me, why don't you just train me? I had mitts because I had my beginning package that the coaches usually get. And so I would teach her everything. And so I did mitts with her for almost a year before she signed up.
So yeah, your coach's training was like right before shutdown, right? So like
Right
you were
before.
certified just right before everything got shut
I
down.
think I was officially a coach for a month before everything got shut down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. So, I mean, when you look at it now, that's kind of perfect that it gave you still that opportunity to keep
was
yourself
so good.
busy, teach somebody. And so then we reopen. Steph starts right away, or when she
No,
starts?
actually, because I had just started my new role at Thermo Fisher, and I was not in a very busy position, so I didn't have to dedicate my entire 8-hour days just to staring at the screen and on meetings, and I had a little bit more flexibility. So I would train her in the morning. I'd do my morning workout or coach in the morning, and I'd come home and I would do it again for Steph. So we'd be out in the front yard. Neighbors would be coming out because I'm holding mitts for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and it sounds like a gun crack just reverberating down the street. So 2 or 3 neighbors are like, what the heck is going on down there? And I'd make her do the laps, and I'd push her, and I'd be just as mean to her as I would be in my classes. And it was good, but she had a hard time kind of taking that side of me because there's kind of 2 sides to Brig. There's me at home, and there's a coach Brig. I'm a little bit meaner. You know, I try to live up to, especially being a new coach, I try to live up to the standards that you and Kylan and all the coaches before me had tried to set. And here's the technique, and you're going to do it, and I'm going to correct you if you're doing it wrong. And she started to love it. And at one point, I got too busy in my role. I'm like, I can't do this anymore because I'm in meetings all day. So got her signed up. She started going 3 times a week. I would be home with Gabe, and she just went for it. Been there ever since.
Okay, so, and yes, she's a humongous ball of fun. Everybody loves her. Now she's a coach too, right? Okay. Let's talk about that though. Like, what has that done for you guys as a married couple, as a unit? What is being a part of Legends or through this transition and all this stuff talk to me a little bit about that. How's that helping?
I've never been closer to my wife than I am right now. In all honesty, it's sorry. I'm an emotional guy. I think you know this about me already.
Yeah.
Me coaching was fun, but when Steph started to take interest, because she's always been the one to also share the fun stuff. That's what originally got me into wanting to coach. Is that when I was a member, I would be corrected on something like how to throw a 2 fast and how to do it snappy, and how to rotate and how to do everything better, because it's 1% better every single day. And I felt like I would get it at one point. I just wanted to share that with everyone. It's like, hey, Andrew just taught me this, or Allison just taught me this, and how to throw it this way. And I just wanted to share that. And I took that to Steph, and I think that she's got that bug too. And we watch fights together. We go to fights together, and we'll interview each other after the end of each day, because I'll coach one day, she'll coach the next day, and talk about our classes and things we taught and how we approached it, and the members that we're getting to know so well, and the other coaches that we're spending so much time with now, and basically spending the entire summer with at this point. And it's been the best thing for us, to be honest. It's been absolutely great, and she's a terrific coach. She's absolutely amazing.
That's great. I love that. That is well deserved to be emotional over. I mean, it absolutely is. That's yeah, you know, there's a million stories that go through my head after that right there. And you know my wife, Kelly, and we met in here. So it's the things that can happen, you know, so don't check marriage counseling off your list, because it can happen. Strengthening your marriage and strengthening relationships happens right inside here, and you guys just heard it directly from Brigon. Last thing, what's next for you, man? What's next in your Legends adventure? Are you thinking about EFN? You thinking about fighting? Because I know one of your favorite parts of coaching, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, one of your favorite parts of coaching is taking guys to fights and cornering fighters.
Oh my gosh, yes. That angle of coaching it's kind of surreal to be a part of. And you've done it a number of times, and I'm pretty sure you can reflect back when you first started doing it. You're so nervous because you spend so much time with your fighter, getting to know them and their style and their fears, because everything comes out when they're training hard, and they can come to a training session absolutely having the worst day, and you talk through it and you have a good train. Then they come elated the next time, and you have an even better train. And then they get ready for the fight, and you're walking through them, and you hop in the ring with them between rounds, and you're psyching them up before. And it's one of the so backstepping a little bit. One reason I love boxing is because it allowed me to be more of that solo artist, if you will. Mm-hmm. It's like team sports were never a thing for me growing up. I would always try and participate. My parents would always get me in soccer or football, and I absolutely hated it. Hated it for a myriad of reasons. I always prefer to do swimming or something that would be more on me. If I didn't do good, I didn't win. That's fine.
Nice.
And so getting into boxing, it's a solo thing until I started training fighters, and then I realized it's actually more of a team sport than people realize. You are a team. You are going in together. You win, you lose, you draw together. Mm-hmm. And no matter what that is, no matter what the outcome is, it's the best thing to be a part of. And I hope that I can continue training fighters and taking them to EFN or October events like we did last time for the black tie event. That was a fun night. That was a really, really fun night.
So you don't have any fights right now, do you?
No.
That's what I'm asking. Are we going to see this in the future? Are we going to get Brigon on the other side of the ropes where you're being coached?
I don't know. That's unknown right now. Right now, I'm just living in the moment, training fighters, and those who want to take it to the next level, I want to be a part of that with them.
Well, I love it. A man who knows exactly what he wants. That's pretty rare in this world. So, I appreciate you being here, man. Like really, honestly, guys, if you live in the Utah area and if you are a part of Legends, make an effort. I know it's going to be a major effort because you coach like 5:30 in the morning, don't you?
It's God's hour.
Yes, yes. So if you guys can, and you are the morning people, make it to one of Brigon's classes, and it will change your life. Every time I see this guy, he has a humongous hug waiting for me, and it's an amazing feeling. He is someone who will make your day better. He will make you smile, and he'll also teach you some boxing. So I appreciate you being here, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day. One of my favorite people, man. Thanks.
Thanks. Feelings mutual.